Greetings and salutations, my friends. I hope you're all doing well. And, a few months ago, I was watching, and I've talked about it a few times. HBO Max has a show called The Offer. Let me take this down for a second. The Offer is about how The Godfather got made. It's about a guy writing a script who published a book. It's about a studio that paid a few dollars, and he's new and he's ambitious. It's about a studio with some financial issues. It's about production. It's about unions. It's about drama, things like that. When you watch that show, you will binge, or at least want to binge, as much as you can handle, because it just keeps moving. I kid you not. There are cliffhanger elements, not cliffhangers per se, but at least the elements. And what I mean by that is it makes you maybe want to run to the restroom or get a bite to eat, but you want to turn on the next episode. You want to find out how that issue or something gets resolved. You want to see what happens next. You want to see those things. So I know what you're thinking. What does this have to do with Andor? Well, as you have seen, the formula has been really simple, right? Episodes 1 and 2, something happens in 3. Episode 4 and 5, something happens in 6. We had 7, we had 8. We had a lot more teasing in 8. We had like the actual prison and stuff, and then we kind of cool our jets a little bit. Well, I tell you what, they hit us in the recap because I thought there'd be no way that we wanted to even be reminded of the comfy chair, right? So in the last episode, the Empire sends their your girl boss interrogator, her name's Miro, it's taken me 9 episodes to get some of the names right, to Ferrix to find and capture Bix, who is the girl that was using the radio, back to the budding rebellion. She is, Andor's former love interest, and they've caught her, and they're going to strap her in literally an office chair. It's in the recap. The office chair, the dramatic reveal of the office chair. Not the recap didn't showcase her fighting or running or, no, it showcased the dramatic moment of the woman stepping aside and you can see the office chair. So we're going to get more office chair. I know you're excited. I know you're excited. This show is, it's something to be seen. It's a sight to be seen. So it starts off rather slow, which should not surprise anyone because almost everything about this, they're going to talk, and it's about, I don't like wasting time. And she tells a little story, and this is what we're going to do. I'm like, oh, they're going to torture her now. They got a doctor that comes in. We're going to drug her. We're going to do whatever. Here's the doctor. His name is Dr. Gorst, by the way. They say his name 3 or 4 times, so we all know who Dr. Gorst is now. It takes a few minutes. It takes about 3 or 4 minutes before we get to the big dramatic moment, because they basically just talk about what they did to the other guy, which I understand why we didn't open the episode with just a quick like cut back to the dude being tortured and then having her walk up. See, we're at 7 minutes. We're at 8 minutes. We cut away at 8 minutes. Okay, so let me back up just a little bit. This is 7:40, and they're still talking. To keep going. They're going to hold her down. Wait a minute. I missed the spot. Let me back up. Let me see if I can find the spot. Anyway, the big torture, the big thing. Here, this is it. Did I skip it? It goes by so fast. This is just her walking around. They literally talk for the whole opening scene. The scenes run together. Yeah. I guess you're right. I guess it cuts away. Wow, that's worse than I remembered. Okay, so we cut to here, and there's just the same, like, Andor is taking an assessment of everything going on. I like the prison. I love the elements of the prison. I don't really know exactly who all the characters are. This is Olaf. We get to know Olaf is the really old dude, and he is deteriorating very, very fast. He's having some major medical problems, and they're compensating for him to stay online. Andy Serkis is still rocking it. Yes, right. We cut back. Okay, so we literally had 8 minutes or so, almost 8 minutes. Because see, the opening sequence is a minute or so. Let's see. Yeah, credits roll at 2:30, at 8 something. So yeah, almost 5 to 6 minutes of them talking about interrogation and this extremely creepy, I like to torture people, dude. Which I got to be honest, Dr. Gorst is kind of rememberable. His name's mentioned. He's super creepy. The dude looks like a proto Joker or something. Like he looks like a proto villain that matters. He's really good. we're going to torture her. And I know what you're thinking, Pops. You criticize the comfy chair because in New Hope they have the robot with the probe and the syringe. And they're just going to have a human do that, right? This is going to be kind of what we're going to have happen. So he's explaining what they're going to do and starts talking about people that died, and they documented sound and crying of babies. And this is what they're going to do with her. They're going to put headphones on her. She's strapped in the office chair, and we're going to put headphones on her of crying people or dying people or whatever. Headphones. Cue the memes. Cue the memes. The Emperor's torture is a comfy chair and headphones. And if you don't think they're trolling you, I don't know what to do. Like, I feel like they're in the writer's room going, you know, okay, so that when we do the torture scene, we're going to have the syringe. No, it's like, no, we're not doing that. We're going to put these headphones on her. Like, what? The headphones? These Star Wars people are not going to like. Oh, no, it's okay. It's like She-Hulk level mocking. And this is it. Now, this is how they approach it. They put this on, and they have these zoom ins of her, and she's just, we don't know what she's hearing. We just see her reaction. It's supposed to be whatever. There is so little framework for us caring about this situation. I couldn't have cared if Bix's head exploded at this point. We cut back to the scene, and all we're doing is getting like a few of them are trying to monitor what's going on, trying to keep track of things. They cut up. I guess you're allowed to have a bathroom break. So Andor races back to his little stall, and he is basically making a shiv. Right? I mean, I assume he's making a shiv, or he is trying to cut that pipe, but I assume either way, it's a positive for him. There's an issue, and they're all lined up again. There's something wrong. They're taking note of how many there are. They're taking note of the railing. And we cut back to Bix, who's barely alive. And it's just literally, we're 15 minutes into this, and I don't care about really much of any of this anymore. Like, it just, what little interest I had with the prison, I thought we would have a prison break or some cool, interesting elements that they've pieced together. And they leave Bix, they just walk away and just dump her on a mattress. She's literally on a cheap mattress on the floor. The office chair is out of frame. So we had office chair, headphones, and mattress. That is the level of Star Wars in 2022. And these guys are basically wearing overalls and a belt. They have a Star Wars kind of looking belt. I think they have some sort of gloves or something, but I don't think there's anything special about anything in there. That's literally the level of the Empire costuming and wardrobe department. Is in this episode. He has something on his belt. Looks like some sort of little baton. We cut to the Senate. They could not make Mon Mothma more unlikable and boring. She's like, there is not. So the premise of this scene is that she's supposed to be like standing up for freedom, talking about this is a pathway to more oppression. This is an issue. And she's reading it as though she is your spouse in the room telling you that you're putting the entertainment center wrong while they're looking at the instructions, and they just keep repeating it. No. A1 goes in B2, not B1. If you don't understand that, you're doing it wrong. Maybe we could just hear her. You can hear her. Let's do that. How she drones.
Is to the citizens who have sent us here. Our second vow is to protect the power and independence of this remarkable chamber. I stand here.
And literally there's like these, like they turn their lights off, which I assume is their no votes or I don't care votes, which by the way, I wish that was a thing. Like I would be happier if, you know, you could just, you know, turn your light off. You could just, no, I'm good. Oh, we literally waste screen time, like 30 seconds here, 30 seconds there. The sister shows up, the driver, they talk about it. And then we have this sequence where they're all lined up on their catwalks. Powers are flickering. All sorts of shenanigans are happening. They don't understand. Something's wrong with this level or that level. Then we cut back and we have the daughter. And then who is the sister? The sister is other girl boss. So this is Vel. So Vel was involved with the heist. She's working for Luthen as well. And we're supposed to sort of like have this we talk about him without talking about him thing. But she's obviously, you know, rich white girl boss as well, and part of the system and the machinery. This is scene 1 of about 2 or 3 of them talking about everything going on. They do nothing to engage or interest you. And here you have, back in the prison, Andor is pleading with Kino, Andy Serkis' character, which, by the way, he's suddenly across the hall from, which I don't think that was the case earlier. It seems a rather odd decision that he's right here when Andor was like, there was a shot where Andor was like looking down the hall before and doing whatever. He wouldn't be doing that if Kino was sitting right there or laying right there. Anyway, this all seems very strange. And over the course of the entire activity, it would be hard to believe Andor could be as scheming as he'd want to be with the prisoner boss right across. He's asking about how many guards. He just keeps listening. They're not listening to us. They don't care about us. How many people are there? And then we cut to the Imperials because Imperial girl boss is telling them that Bix explained some of the details, and then they caught a freighter thing. Let's see. They're going to leave the mom on the planet as bait, and then they cut to the scene, and you have some sort of shenanigans going on. Something happened, and they're all dead, right? All of the people on 2 are dead, and they treat it like a rumor you don't know. By the way, don't forget about, we have this guy. His name is Karn. He's the former inspector from episodes 1, 2, and 3. He was sent home to live with Jewish mom again. She's over the top and irritating. It's basically like Mel Brooks has a sister. That's what she's playing. She's Yogurt. So it's like Mama Yogurt lecturing him. He couldn't be more irritating. If she says these things and then just like, you know, he says, I got a promotion, and she folds up like a chair. I know. I'm trying to go as quick as I can. We cut back and forth. Oh, Olaf doesn't know what he's doing. Here's the family meal. There's some chatter and nonsense about her finding a husband. Of course, we know Val's a lesbian. Girl boss talk, girl boss talk, girl boss talk. Because she's going to leave. And we cut to, this is the most cringiest of the scenes. He basically like stands outside and waits for her to come, and then has this scene confronting her. It's like, I would never lie to you. Let's see. Let's get a little bit of the tenor of this scene.
Try to follow on the conversation we had last month.
That wasn't a conversation. You were brought in for questioning. Are you stalking me?
I know you work here. I come sometimes to see you.
So he is stalking her. He's like, I come to see you, and I'm following you, and I like you, and I like you a lot, and I'm bonding to you over like the prisoner that we're both trying to catch. He is more cuck and passive and soy boy than ever before. She quite literally snarls at him. Watch this. Look at her face. I sense it. I know it. I want what you want. She's like, you're out of your mind. She's literally like says, it is insane what we're I don't know what we're going for. I don't understand that relationship dynamic. Oh, this is shenanigans about some sort of freighter or something they caught. Then we have the husband is talking about like 400,000 credits that are missing, and they have a scheme, and she thinks this is about her not boyfriend, but it's about somebody else. It's all the drama about the money. And then you cut, and this just keeps going on. Yes, and we cut to the Imperials. They have their story. They have their plan to fake it so they can try to trap somebody and catch somebody. Then there's the this scene with poor Olaf. It's the end of the shift, and Olaf is not doing well, and he basically just collapses. They need a medical team, right? So only the group at the table and Kino are kind of readily aware of how bad this is. And so this is the medical person. So they have him in the hallway, and they bring this medical doctor, and I guess he's doctor because he has a blue stripe and not an orange stripe. And Kino is like, well, he only has like 40 shifts left, whatever, right? And he has a stroke. There's no medical care. It's literally like, it's a mask, and then there's like euthanasia, like I'm going to put you down. And they basically like do this quick little thing, and he's dead. That's it, right? And then they ask what actually happened on level 2. He presses the doctor, and so Kino, I guess, he saw, like, if Olaf can get out, there's hope for me. That's what they're going for, right? This is his arc. What they say is somebody who was on 2 ran their course and they got out, and they showed up on 4 in order to cover the fact that no one gets out. They killed everyone on 2, right? And so then this time when Andor asks how many guards are there, he says never more than 12. So he actually answers the question. So now he's on board with some sort of escape, presumably, because there is no escape in this episode. That is the episode. Nothing happens everything that is happening in this episode happens away from the camera, right? They talk about interrogating Bix's friend. We don't see what actually happened. Then we interrogate Bix with the headphones. We don't know what she's being. We don't know. We can't relate to what's happening. They just put her. They strap her in an office chair, put headphones on her, and she starts crying. Right. We have this investigation. We have this shuttle thing that they have found or captured. That's off camera. You have the stuff with level 2 and the prisoner, and one gets out, one goes here. We don't see any of that either, right? We have all of the tension with the sisters, Mon Mothma and her sister Val, and the money, and it's just people standing around talking. It's a bunch of we have girl bosses talking. We don't care. We have snarls. We have Cuck Boy who's stalking the one girl boss. We don't understand it. We had a pattern of do something every 3 episodes, and now you gave up on that. Here's why they're wrong. If you were binging this show and you got, I don't know, if I got about halfway through the show, I would probably skipped it and gone to the recap of the next episode to see if I missed anything happening. And then I might go back and watch it. That's literally how bad this show is. The content is just always baiting and baiting and baiting, and there's no delivery on anything. Nothing ever happens that delivers. There's not a single payoff that's ever coming in this show. It just keeps going and going and going. It's this. There's no cat and mouse of chasing Andor because he's not moving anymore. He's been in the prison too long. He was on these planets too long. He's walking around too long, right? Even though we finally come up with this concept of this prisoner or whatever, why did it take a whole episode? And why did the best things, or at least the tension of things, go off camera? Because the setup was fine. There's just never a payoff. So that's where we're at. And our motto is very clear. I watch Andor, so you don't have to. So that's my take. I'm sure some of you are loving the show. Some of you are hating the show. I don't know. The show it's like, this is one of those things where it is not terrible. It's just so slow and boring and can't ever get there. It feels like no Star Wars at all. Like, I feel like this is fan fiction would do things. So I don't even want to berate fan fiction. It's like they're cosplaying as Star Wars universe. And most of this was all studio work. There was no real on-location stuff for all of this. So this is not, they don't get the kudos if I feel like I'm in the Star Wars universe or something, because at least there were moments where some of that was the case. That is gone with this episode 2. So I don't know. I don't get it. I really, the last thing you would want is apathy. Because the only thing that people are talking about right now is they're debating how good or bad or how much canon was broken or not with the episodes of Tales of the Jedi. And you know how much talk there is about Andor? 0. Other than it's boring or I don't watch it. That's it. That's what you got for buzz. Do these people think it's going to change when it's on their service? It's going to get worse because word of mouth will spread faster about how bad it is. Anyway, that's my take. I'm sure you guys, some of you, I'll get love and hate. Bring it. Let's talk about it. And I'll be here again next week. Let's wrap this show up, please.
All I do is chill. My life is a thrill, for real.